Welcome to Road of Echoes. Today, in Episode 3, we return to Boston Township, Ohio, a place where a quiet morning in 1974 became the final chapter of a community that had stood for more than a century and a half. Boston's story began in 1806, when Alfred Wolcott of Connecticut arrived with surveyors James Stanford, John Teal, and Samuel Ewart. They came to map the Connecticut Western Reserve, but what they built instead was the beginning of a town. Their first shelter, a rough log shanty on the hill where Boston Cemetery now stands, became the township's first permanent settlement. Life took root quickly. Andrew J. Stanford, born March 27, 1806, became the township's first son. Melinda Wolcott followed on April 14, 1807, the first daughter born in the new settlement. From that humble shanty, a community grew. Families, farms, churches, and canal workers shaped the valley for generations. And then in 1974, everything changed. If you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, please like, subscribe, follow, and share this episode. Your support helps Road of Echoes grow and keeps these stories alive. Let's begin. There is a place in northern Ohio where the forest seems to swallow the past. A place where abandoned houses once stood in rows, where rumors grew faster than the trees, and where silence became the perfect breeding ground for legends. Locals call it Helltown. Tonight, we explore the myths, the rumors, and the truth behind one of Ohio's most unsettling ghost stories, and how a vanished town became one of the most visited national parks in America. One of Helltown's oldest legends claims the government evacuated Boston Village because of a catastrophic chemical spill. When residents were forced out in the 1970s, entire streets of boarded-up homes were left behind. The sudden emptiness created an eerie silence, and people began whispering that something toxic had seeped into the soil. Some said the spill created mutated creatures that roamed the woods. The story absorbed older folklore, including tales of the peninsula python, a massive snake said to lurk near the river. In the quiet of the abandoned village, the chemical spill myth felt disturbingly believable. Another rumor centered around the Mother of Sorrows Church. Its Gothic architecture and lonely placement among abandoned homes made it an easy target for supernatural storytelling. People claimed its crosses were inverted and that cult rituals took place in the basement. In reality, the church never closed. But as the town emptied, its silhouette became a symbol of the strange stories people projected onto Boston Village. The abandoned bus on Stanford Road became one of Helltown's most iconic images. Some said it carried children murdered by a drifter. Others claimed it transported patients from a mental hospital. The truth is far simpler. The bus belonged to a family who lived nearby before the federal buyout. Its rusted frame, shattered windows, and lonely placement in the woods made it a perfect prop for ghost stories. At dusk, headlights catching its silhouette turned it into a symbol of the town's eerie abandonment. Crybaby Bridge on Boston Mills Road joined a long tradition of similar legends across Ohio. Drivers reported hearing infant cries or finding tiny handprints on their car windows after crossing at night. The bridge's isolation and the echoing acoustics of the valley helped the legend take root. In the quiet of the abandoned town, even natural sounds felt supernatural. Stanford Road's abrupt dead end inspired the legend of End of the World Road. Visitors claimed their engines stalled at the terminus, or that the forest seemed unnaturally still. Some said the road led to a portal, or that the government blocked it off to hide something sinister. In reality, the road simply ends at private property. But the combination of thick woods, sudden darkness, and the town's abandoned state made it feel like a boundary between the normal world and something stranger. The truth behind Helltown is far more bureaucratic than supernatural. In 1974, President Gerald Ford authorized the federal government to acquire land for a new national recreation area. Boston Village and surrounding communities were purchased through eminent domain. Families were forced to leave quickly, often with little time to prepare. The government planned to demolish the structures, but fell behind, leaving entire streets of boarded-up homes. The sudden displacement, combined with the visual shock of abandonment, created fertile ground for rumors and ghost stories. The land became the Cuyahoga Valley National Recreation Area in 1974 and was later redesignated as Cuyahoga Valley National Park in 2000. Over time, most abandoned buildings were removed, though a few historic structures remain. The transformation from ghost town to national park is one of Ohio's most dramatic land use shifts. What was once a symbol of fear and mystery is now a thriving natural space visited by millions each year. Beaver Marsh is one of the park's most remarkable ecological success stories. For decades, the site functioned as an informal dump filled with old cars, scrap metal, and discarded machinery. When beavers naturally returned in the 1980s, their dam building flooded the dump site, creating a wetland. Volunteers later removed the remaining debris, allowing the marsh to fully recover. Today, Beaver Marsh is a thriving ecosystem filled with herons, turtles, fish, and lush vegetation. The boardwalk near Riverview Road and the Ira Trailhead offers one of the most peaceful views in the entire park, a living example of nature healing a damaged landscape. Cuyahoga Valley National Park is consistently one of the most visited national parks in the United States. In recent years, annual visitation has hovered around 3 million visitors, placing it among the top 10 most popular parks nationwide. Its accessibility between Cleveland and Akron, combined with features like Beaver Marsh, the Towpath Trail, and scenic overlooks, makes it a major destination for hikers, cyclists, bird watchers, and families. The Towpath Trail follows the historic route of the Ohio and Erie Canal, where mules once walked alongside boats, pulling them through the waterway. This canal system was vital to Ohio's early economy, connecting Lake Erie to the Ohio River and opening trade routes across the Midwest. Today, the towpath is one of the most heavily used trails in the park. Cyclists, runners, and walkers travel its long, scenic corridor daily. It links multiple towns, visitor centers, and historic sites, serving as both a recreational path and a living museum of Ohio's canal era. Modern usage peaks in summer and fall, when the valley's foliage is at its most vibrant. Helltown is a place where myth and memory collide. What began as a bureaucratic land acquisition became one of Ohio's most famous ghost stories, a blend of chemical spill monsters, cult rumors, haunted buses, and cursed bridges. But the truth is far more hopeful. The abandoned streets gave way to forests, wetlands, and trails. The ghost town became a national park. And today, millions walk the same land once shrouded in fear, discovering beauty where legends once lived. Helltown reminds us that some places feel haunted, not because of what happened there, but because of what we imagine in the silence. If this story resonated with you, help keep Road of Echoes alive. Like the video, share it with someone who loves forgotten history, and subscribe so you never miss the next chapter.